It is now nearly 10 o'clock in the morning and I've had no coffee yet. So, welcome to my reset. I do have some green tea, which has caffeine in it, so that might help my ADD crazy. But it's nearly cold, and as most of you moms know, we usually drink our tea cold anyway, so I'm sure I'll lose this and drink it with ice in it later. Anyway, yeah, I'm just kind of filming my ultimate reset here because I've had a few questions about it. It's I got to practice when CJ, my husband, went through it, and that was, I think, in January. So he lost like 27 pounds. He has turned into a metabolic furnace at this point. He's doing another program called Beast, which is like a bulking bodybuilding program. Yeah, and he's growing new muscles every day. So I'm kind of jealous, to be honest. I'm jealous. I want my muscles back. It's been a long journey. Actually, a year ago today, I would have been just coming home from hospital, and I was in there for a week and had a bunch of my intestine removed, and yeah, kind of derailed me for a lot of the summer into the fall. So it was supposed to be like a 6-week thing. Anyway, that wasn't going, nothing was really working. So, and I got a lot of just wait and see. So I started researching some of the stuff on my own. And as a lot of you know, I'm a nerd, stats nerd. I now do ecology stuff with landscapes, but you know, it's the same thing. It's just treating the human body as an ecosystem instead of a disparate assemblage of pieces. So, which is, if any of you have been in through some of this, you probably have some of your practitioners treating you like a disparate array of pieces that are not connected. So anyway, my journey has been a lot of that, looking into healing the body as a whole entity, which is so silly when I think of that's how I walk into a landscape, hands down. I don't even entertain the thought that it's just a group of individual things living together. It's one big system. So yeah, newsflash, the body is one big system. So going through all this research, I found out a lot of information about our food and how it's produced and where it comes from and what's in it and on it. And in particular, how a lot of our processed foods are engineered. So, and yeah, I use the term engineered. They're not just cooked. When you make a muffin, you cook it, you bake it, whatever. I'm sorry if I offended any bakers, but yes, when you make a muffin, you're adding and combining ingredients. When you're dealing with processed food now, it's pretty much engineered. So yeah, so there's my little morning rant. But other than that, yeah, I wanted to get the fuel back in my body that needs to repair and turn into a metabolic machine and clear out the stuff that's probably still causing my joints and things to be irritated. My intestines have been holding really well now for the most part for about 3-4 months, with the exception of a little bit of hormone stuff going on, because I'm a girl. So, as much as some of you might argue with that, yeah, I'm going to be using Shakeology still through this, which is an option. I can use the vegan strawberry Shakeology, and you guys know that I love that, and I don't think I'd be in one piece today if I hadn't stumbled across that again a few months ago, so that's no accident. And Shakeology has the bulking agents in it that can keep my tummy moving slow enough to do what it's supposed to. And for those, there's a lot of people with IBS and that are having fantastic success with it because it can actually increase the speed of your food going through, because sometimes people's anatomy doesn't really move the food through fast enough, and that causes huge problems too. So I got to guinea pig this with CJ, as I said, and test a lot of the green foods. There's a lot of salads and things in here, and that was the last thing I could add to my diet. I finally started to be able to eat those started to a little bit in December and into January, so without having to cook everything, which is crazy when I think of when I came out of hospital. I couldn't eat. I could eat whatever I wanted. How long it stayed in me was a different question, and how aggravated my body got with it. So I finally was able to add cooked vegetables, and then finally, just a couple of months ago, able to eat all the greenery, the salads and stuff. And any of you guys know me from before surgery and from school and everything. Yeah, I always ate lots of veggies like that. as much as it would suck, I think, to be told you have to eat like white potatoes and white bread and rice and have that still irritate your tummy. Yeah, when you actually really liked vegetables, it's kind of weird. So anyway, be careful what you wish for. But yeah, I'm going to be using Shakeology once a day just to make sure. There's lots of good stuff. There's so many superfoods in there. I'm not going to give that up while I do the reset. It won't interfere with the cleanse or anything because the foods are all good in there. And yeah, there's a few supplements. I just read, I didn't read it when CJ was doing it because I knew I wasn't able to at that point with my diet stuff. But the Optimize supplement is full of enzymes. Pineapple enzyme, papaya enzyme, and actually papaya was one, I've got it in my fruit bowl here. Papaya was one of the things that I could add to my shake really early on so that it calmed my tummy with aloe. Now my kit doesn't have aloe, they've switched it now. I have the one from January when it's on sale, and I know you guys probably saw it. I was trying to get a few of you guys to do this with me when it was on sale again recently. So yeah, right now it doesn't have aloe. I do have aloe in my fridge because it is a really great food for calming intestine, and if anyone has things like leaky gut syndrome where your lining lets too many lets kind of the wrong molecules through, it doesn't have the ability to break them down to the proper components that are supposed to go into your blood. So that causes all sorts of immune responses and craziness happening. So aloe calms that down anyway. And it's not, you guys have probably all slapped aloe on a kid if they've had too much sun or a grown up. It's got fantastic soothing qualities. So that's what's in the kit now when you get it. I will be adding that to my shakes anyway. So again, that's kind of hitting it from a couple of angles that keep my tummy happy. Now this really green juice here, this is called Alkalize. And it's full of organic grass powders, which is why it's not dissolving very well. Any of you chemistry nerds know that hydrophilic, hydrophobic, when you puree something like this, it's going to be a little tough to dissolve. So anyway, bear with it. It's just chemistry, and treat it as your medicine. Last time you chewed a tablet from the doctor, it didn't taste that great either. So anyway, it's just, if you guys like chewing on grass when you were kids, that's what it kind of tastes like. But yeah, it's alfalfa grass, kamut, barley grass, wheatgrass. So any of you guys who've been to Booster Juice, oh, there's a bit more of the Himalayan salt in here, and fulvic acid. Now, I've had some stuff on my page where I've been putting a lot of the things I find that are really cool and that have helped me. Distilled water, we use this in Reset because it's got no other stuff in it. It's just water. So chemically, it's been distilled to the point where that's all that's in there. So no other minerals. So what we do then is add mineralized, which is basically like Himalayan salt, that pink stuff, cool energy rock stuff. So you shake some of that in there to put your particulate back in, otherwise your solutes back in. Otherwise, this actually screws up your chemistry a little bit if you drink too much distilled water. Your body has to then put salts into it to metabolize it properly. So that's the salts. Yeah, so that's in here, and there's the stuff oxygenized. I don't know about this. I haven't got a clue what this is. It's got some minerals in it. I'm kind of curious how that works. It says stabilized oxygen, and I know there's some other stuff on the market that's got oxygenated water. So I'm kind of curious to find out. Maybe one day on a nerd run I'll figure out how the oxygen works in a liquid form. But yeah, they've kind of figured out that that's not completely necessary in here, so that's why they've switched it out for the aloe. And aloe, yeah, hands down is fantastic. So I think that's probably a really good move. So I've got the supplements, the green stuff, and yeah, I'll be having my shake for lunch probably. I'm going to switch out for the microgreen salad and breakfast. And yeah, ultimately I'm just trying to see if I can get my body running in tip-top shape, because obviously my immune system's been compromised. Something really bad was going on for it to die in the first place. So I'm pretty sure a lot of my toxic stuff was what bound up in the lining of the intestine. That's kind of what your body can do. I don't have a lot of fat reserves anymore, so that's another place where toxins get bound up to protect your body. So one of the reasons a lot of people do the reset, and what really worked for CJ, is that if you have a lot of metals and yuck bound up in your fat tissue, your body won't drop it no matter how much you run around and diet. Unless it's an absolute emergency, you're going to hang on to that because it protects your liver and your organs, and you don't have a safe way to get it out of your body. So you need to add all this good stuff in so that your body can take those molecules, break them up, and get them out without hurting anything else. I think what I ran into is I couldn't get them out without hurting anything. So the best defense was to throw them through the intestine. And despite my diet being quite good, most of our modern diets do not have enough fiber in them to make you work properly. And if I've, you know, anatomy problems from surgeries and stuff, from an appendectomy, that's the best they could come up with. And even then, nothing was twisted. So anyway, something was going on. I have a huge history with chemicals and yeah, so that's changed a lot, even with CJ doing the reset. And yeah, it's not going to go back now that I've done a lot of homework. So anyway, wish me luck. I'll probably be bitching like crazy by Friday for my coffee, but I will survive. So anyway, I hope you guys have a lovely week, and feel free to mock me and my withdrawal from caffeine and stuff that comes from Starbucks. Love you guys. Thanks for listening. Bye.